Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Hegfreeze here. Today I am bringing you 3 awesome entitled parent stories. Keywords include Dungeons and Dragons, bowling and ice cream. Just sit back, relax and enjoy the stories. Try to recover stolen mini and religious mom loses it. This has a bit of build up to it, because I want to try to show just how hyped up we were and the devastation that follows. But also to help calm me down, because I am still fuming over this load of BS. Things go from bad to worse. So, to give proper context, I love playing Dungeons and Dragons, both as a player and as a dungeon master. As a dungeon master, I would normally only do one-shot sessions or short stories. But I had gotten the Tomb of Annihilation module, spoilers will ensue, and was DMing it for a group of my friends. Some were experienced, while for others it was their first ever game of D&D. Anyways, we met every Sunday night, as that was the only time of the week we were all free, and as any other player will know, game night is not easily set aside. Anyways, this past Sunday we were getting ready for our session. It was the second to last session, and my players were fighting against the main boss of the entire campaign, Acerak, the evil Auber Lich who was stealing everyone's souls to give birth to a god. We were really leaving a lot of aspects of this campaign up to RNGesus and had been playing the module since it came out back in 2017. They had gotten lost in the jungle multiple times, lost way too many guides, characters and close NPC friends to count, but here they were. They braved the Tomb of Horrors and were about to engage with Acerak. I had actually had everyone roll initiative before I called it a night, at 3 AM last week, just to blue ball them. Now, I was expecting us to skip this past Sunday because it was Palm Sunday and the friend whose house we play at was having his extended, very religious family over to celebrate. But he had said that it would be completely okay and we would be fine in our usual location. We play in a private room in a corner of his parents' house basement. It's pretty cut off, so we can get really loud without worry of waking up the rest of the house. He said that his family won't be joining us. Come game night, my friends and I start arriving a bit on the early side. They knew that they had the fight of a lifetime ahead of them and knew it was going to be a long haul. I have all my gear over and say hi to my friends F1, aunts, uncles, cousins and so on. Most of the people are pretty nice and the kids seemed fine and ranged in a variety of ages. I then said hi to F1's parents before giving them a bottle of wine I had gotten for them for allowing us to use their house for our late and loud game nights. I then go down to start setting up. Every one of the players start trickling in soon afterwards. Just as we're about to start, F1's 9 or 10-year-old cousin walks in. He's our entitled kid and asks if he can play with us. I said that we're sort of at the end of the story and we can really add in someone so last minute, but I said he's more than happy to watch. He seemed okay with that and sat down to the side. Anyways, we start playing. My players are pretty confident in their abilities with their characters, and plus they got buffed by some dead gods. They are joking around all until I bring out Acerak's mini. Now, normally Wizards of the Coast and GF9 have officially licensed minis to use, but I wanted to do something special. So I got not just any mini, but rather Nagash from the Warhammer Age of Sigmar game a few months prior, built it and then personally painted it with the help of the relatively close Warhammer store to me. Everyone's smiles fell when I pulled out this monster and placed it in the middle of the battle arena. It's absolute mayhem. Devastating attacks and abilities and counter abilities and spells are being used left and right. We nearly lost a few players but managed to get revived shortly afterwards, and yeah. The only issue is that EK would run in and out of the room when he got bored. It was also getting hot because we were located next to the massive heating unit. So I had shed my flannel shirt and was showing off my D&D Pride shirt I bought last year. It's my go-to DMing shirt and I got it during the yearly fundraiser. Anyways, after a few hours, about 9 PM, we started at 6, they defeated Acerak, and I took the leech off the table. We're all cheering and losing our minds as I am narrating the killing blow of the fight, that I don't notice that EK had entered the room then left, slamming the door shut. The noise caused me to jump instinctively and look around and notice that something is missing. Yep, you guessed it, Acerak is gone. I immediately panic and rush out of the room. Those figures can be pretty fragile at times and fairly expensive. I rushed up the stairs to see that he had sat himself in the living room playing with the miniature while his parents and others were in the kitchen. I wouldn't have minded and would have found it even cute, but was still cautious because the piece is really fragile. So I walked over and crouched down to ask for it back. I dealt with younger siblings of other friends in similar ways. Me. Hey, can I have that back? It's really fragile and expensive and I don't want it to break. EK. But I want to play with it. Me. I understand that, but before I can finish, I hear someone walking towards us. I look to see who it is, and it's none other than the EM. She is scowling at me. Not sure why though. My parents raised me right, so I stood up and put on a warm smile. But before I can speak, she starts talking. EM. Excuse me? What do you think you're doing to my son? Me. I'm sorry, but he took something of mine. I'm just trying to get it back because it is very fragile. EM. Are you trying to make my son gay? What? I furrow my brow in confusion and give her that "the F you talking about, Willis?" Look, now I am bisexual and currently have a boyfriend, but I didn't think the EM knew that. Me. Excuse me? EM. You heard me? Are you trying to turn my son into one of you with that shirt of yours? She proceeded to then jam her finger into my chest. Honestly, it hurt like hell. She had really pointy and sharp nails, and she hit me right in the center of the chest where your rib cage meets. EM, that hidden shirt of yours is going to turn my son gay, and he's going to turn his back on God, like you did. Me. I'm sorry, but that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to get my miniature back so I can head back down to my game. The shirt came from when I donated to a charity for LGBTQ youth. Now, I myself am not all that religious. I go to church on high holy days and my boyfriend is Catholic, so I don't see religious and being LGBTQ as mutually exclusive. So I gave a silent sigh and tried to continue getting the figure back. We're having a back and forth. She's ranting about how the gays are ruining society and good morals, and I'm just standing there dumbfounded. I knew better than to argue with her and get into a shouting match because she's a family member of the homeowners and I am just a guest. Finally, I have had enough and become a bit more forceful. Me. Listen, all I'm trying to do is to get my miniature back. It was very expensive and I put a fair amount of time in it. I reach down to grab it, but TK reacts too quickly and hucks it into the fireplace, on some burning logs, shouting something about he just wanted to play. It was far in the back, so there was no way I could grab it without getting seriously burned. So I just watch in horror as it lights up and is destroyed. I'm speechless. All that hard work is gone. Before I can say anything, the EM comes over to me and hands me $20. I look up at her in a confusion of anger, annoyance, and bewilderment. EM, here. This should cover the cost of replacing your toy. Me, no. I'm going to need a fair bit more than that. The model itself cost over $100. She scoffed. EM, that's absurd. Whoever heard of a toy like that being so expensive? I've seen ones like that at Walmart for less than what I gave you. BS. I'm giving you that extra because I feel bad and I don't have any smaller bills. I'm fuming at this point. Me, no. Your son just needlessly destroyed a very expensive item of mine that I put countless hours into working on it. I demand to be compensated. EM, please. As if a queer like you are the ones to make demands. If anything, you should pay me for emotionally harming my son. That's it. I pull my phone out of my pocket and make it seem like I'm calling the cops. It's really my parents, but EM doesn't know that. I pretend to report destruction of property and assault over the phone and give the address. EM's face goes pale. She grabs $150 out of her wallet and throws them at me before grabbing her coat, the EK, and leaving. After the door slams, I tell my mother that everything is fine, just a disagreement. To make an already long story shorter, I collect the bills and meet up with my friends back downstairs. My friend's parents, who own the house, apologized profusely for how badly EM was treating me, but I smiled and said it was no problem. She had overpaid me and now I could replace the Mini easy. After the fire died down, I managed to recover what was left of it and we held a mini funeral service. So long, Acerak. May your reign of terror last forever. And now I'm planning of heading to my Warhammer store and get a new one, and some extra paints. 1-2 knockout in bowling. Background. I am a two-handed bowler, like Jason Belmonte. This means that my bowling balls only have the finger holes, meaning you have to know what you're doing to use them effectively. I've also seen extremely bad ball damage, making me cautious around young kids as they often use bumpers and very light balls. Mine are 15 pounds or 6.8 kilograms. These balls also cost about $200. Also, young kids often think my high scores are caused by my equipment. Cast: me, Monkey Entertainer. EM: Karen. EC: Entitled Child. IDK: Innocent Dumb Kid. Story: I'm bowling pretty well, 180s, and it's crowded. The entitled family is put next to me. After one game, the kids start trying to copy me, which is normal. What's not normal is trying to take someone's equipment. EC: attempts to take my bowling ball. Me: please don't touch my equipment as it's quite heavy. EM: how dare you? Me: what? EM: EC can use whatever he likes. Me: no, he can't. He could barely use a 6-pound ball. EM: let him try at least. Me: sure, only if he can pick it up, knowing full well he can't. He fails. EM: fine. Me, thinking this all over. 5 minutes later, I hear EM telling IDK to grab one of my balls when I'm not looking. IDK does just that when I'm doing my approach, which causes me to elbow him in the face and hit with the ball I was using. A code red, the irony. IDK is on the floor, bleeding and not moving. He's clearly breathing. EM: how dare you harm my innocent angel? Me: he was standing behind me, that's why there's baller's courtesy. EM: I'm going to sue you, the manager and the owner. I legitimately know both as my parents are good friends with them and I plan to get a job there. I'm calling the police. The police show up with paramedics and rush IDK off. When I explain myself, EM screams, "Liar!" The employees, some of whom I know, back me up and EM and her family is banned from that bowling alley. Hey Mr. Stranger, give my kid money and ice cream now! So, I'm at my local mall waiting for my ride. This lady with her daughter asks me if I have change for her daughter to go on the horse ride. I say no sorry. Seconds later, I'm craving ice cream. I go get it and pay with debit. I go back to the spot where I was waiting for my ride. Lady sees me and is mad as hell. Her: excuse me, you said you had no change. Me: I didn't. Her: then what's that BS about? Points to the ice cream. Me: an ice cream? I'm being a smart day now. Her: how dare you buy that with the change I asked you? Me: it's called debit, ma'am. Her: fine. Just give my daughter that ice cream. You owe her it. Me: nope. I walked away. She kept screaming. Alright guys, that was everything I had for today. I will be back tomorrow with more fresh stories. Also, don't forget to leave a like if you have enjoyed the video and subscribe. Have a nice day.